Let us please welcome our next panelist, Mr. Giuliano Perfetti, CEO and Managing Director, Jubilant Bio. We'd also like to call Mr. Srinath Venkateswaran, Managing Director, India and South Asia, Thermo Fisher Scientific. Mr. Abdi, I would like to invite Mr. Hari Durgana, Founder and Chairman, Investec. Welcome, sir. Well, if you could name, I give it to the moderator. I just want to check whether everyone are far away. So can you give a huge round of applause so that I get to know that everyone are all up and ready for the session. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Check. Someone can help. Yeah, this is so. Check. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for having a quick lunch and coming back for this session. Clearly, in their respective fields, leading companies. So we just went through the introduction, so I'm not going to take time to kind of reintroduce them. What we're going to have in the next couple of the pharma in India in the next 5 years. So given in the last decade in life sciences, if it was about scientific breakthroughs, the next is about into a cohesive, repeatable engine of value creation. So life sciences will simply not grow, it will structurally reconfigure, right? What is in store? The question is, what's the game we should play? And the next hour, we will exactly debate this, some of the gaps and challenges that are on the way. So I'm going to start without much ado on asking Peter, the pandemic, we have seen science moving at an unprecedented pace when an urgency exists. You know, we saw RNA validation, viral vector platforms, modular. Does it take a crisis to institutionalize this speed to market, from lab to market? We'll start off with your views, Peter.
So the power of innovation in terms of also of with the innovation that regulatory rules in the funds. And there's no reason why we think okay, what we want to apply for regulatory some people see what and I think it's important to continue to invest in it. Because one day there will be another one. However, there are many other infections and challenges with the migraine that really require some innovation. And it's not only about the other applications. I think it also shows that we need to be far more flexible in terms of modeling platforms, flexible manufacturing, platforms for manufacturing, and at the same time we have something that was quite new, and that is that public opinion can be another. So we have to be realistic also what all that means in the impact. But for me, this is a good example of where investment has to come not only from the private sector, regular investment in biopharma.
Urgency requires it to, right? Whether it's vaccines, testing. But I think the next decade, especially for us in India, is going to be defined drivers from our standpoint. It's going to be manufacturing depth and supply chain resilience, skilling and workforce development. We will need the overall healthcare architecture, not just a crisis response From our standpoint, we also see, this is us as Thermo Fisher, we are bringing advanced technologies center and bioprocessing design center. So yeah, those are broadly, I think, what I believe to be the post-pandemic kind of reset. Thank you.
No, thank you.
One is the collaboration, and the other one is the integration along the value chain steps. So nowadays, this model has also the possibility to be further exploited thanks to the AIML and automation. And from that perspective, the base of this field as well.
Thank you. Moving on, we kind of look at the demand side of things, the quick help wins, and we get more out of innovation. For this, I would want Vikrant, you've been on the forefront of obesity management. And
any epidemiological data which comes on hypertension, fatty liver, thyroid, diabetes, million population, if I talk about India, obesity population 250 million, and almost 40% population has got, can say, fatality which happens. They are happening because of chronic disease. Now there is a play which we are doing with GLP-1 in obesity, but it's not just obesity like a metabolic disease. It is actually the sole reason for 229 diseases. Can eat. Just in laboratories, I can talk about it. The GLP-1 is the starting point. And then we are coming out with next generations of the product which could arrest obesity. And you talk about the growth which is there in this value creation. And I don't talk about value creation just from economic side of it, but also in terms of, rather than working on the lifespan, working on a...
And then in addition, that's good news, living longer, longevity, but the lifespan is not following. But also we need to look further and beyond innovation. But without innovation and without...
put in place, as you said, that we now take it to the banker in the group, Hari. Hari, from your lens, how do you see this opportunity? How do you qualify it for India?
So clearly, these diseases are emerging to be a very big area for pharmaceutical companies and healthcare delivery platforms to focus on, but the agonist area is, I think, a few minutes after the Big Bang. There's a lot of research going on to examine this mechanism of action in the context of, for example, metabolic disorders forms as well as supply chains which are designed around this newer approach to treating cardiometabolic disorders.
Huge opportunity of biosimilars, right, as an opportunity for India. So, my question, there is an easing of regulatory requirements from interchangeability and switching studies not being required, and
high confidence biosimilarity. I think fueled by US regulatory clarity to deep structural and functional insight. So I think clearly that offers an opportunity. Also advanced analytical qualification technology and high-res mass spectrometers and NGS. I think from a country standpoint, clearly is a challenge.
No, thank you. Very useful comments. Amit, you want to come back to you to kind of get your comments.
Thanks, Suresh. I concur. I think that's the reflection we'll need to probably take, and also act very quickly if we want to swing a large share of the opportunities to this side of the world.
No, thank you. There is a little bit of capability building to be done.
The more perspective, the opportunity is really to fill this gap. Of course, it requires high intensity of capital to be invested, and I think the capability. I think that's the next step, but definitely is a great is a great perspective.
Right. Thank you. Beyond biosimilars, right, we come to the next opportunity. Will India build modality depth? And what do you see as the key tailwinds? And also talk about some headwinds.
Looking at ADC field, which is definitely is not a new technology per se, because we had the ADC drug in the last 10, 15 years. The traditional ADC with the payload and linkers is now, payload can be not only a cytotoxic drug, it can be